I've actually, because aside from Junia, I do a lot in AI. And the precursor for that, for me, my entire career has been predictive analytics, which to me is a precursor of AI. And there are professors that I've talked to, they're like, oh, I'm so disturbed. My students are using AI. I'm like, look, AI is here and it's not going anywhere. I think that you should challenge yourself to figure out how can you make sure that your students are become authorities in whatever area or whatever subject and incorporate that. So maybe you're not testing from a textbook, which I never liked anyway, but you're testing based on case examples where there's a protagonist that has to make a decision, and maybe there are more group projects, etc. Maybe you do it based on their use of AI and trying to understand it. Like for instance, in my main company, we changed their performance appraisals where 20% of their bonus is dependent on how they use AI and whether or not they use AI. If you're not using AI, then you're behind, and I need you to be able to release the friction of administrative tasks so that you can focus on the core function areas that you need to. So,
That's exciting. I
yeah.
love that. Wow, I love that conversation, and we'll definitely dig into that a little bit more in another podcast, which is great because I'm looking forward to that conversation just as much as this one that we're having now. So that's great. So a little teaser for the listeners, that we're going to do a future one, which I
Yeah.
love. I love doing more than one with my guests because it's always
Hmm.
fun to explore those different elements together,
Yeah.
and you've created some great organizations, so I always love
Thank
to
you.
be able to learn about that. So that's great. So for our bonus question today, I wanted to just kind of see, if a listener does not have a daughter, even someone like myself, I don't have a daughter, or is not directly connected to this type of naming tradition, what can they still learn from Junia about honoring the women who shaped them, like mothers and aunts and people like that?
Yeah, I would love to just promote Junia, but at the end of the day, that's not like the most important thing in my mind. It's about you understanding who you are. It's about making sure that you free up space in your life to fulfill whatever your reason is for being born. And think about when you move on, whenever that is, and pass away, because as for in my family, we talk about it because we know that's going to happen. What do you want your tombstone to say? What impact did you make? What people did you influence and help? How did you serve your community? Did you just take, or did you give back? Did you say, okay, I'll take one cookie, but I'll put three in? That to me, that's more important than the naming itself. But then there's another part of your question. I don't know if it was intentional, but it's kind of what I've been thinking about, is that
Sure.
as women, if you don't have children, I'm going to be honest, I don't have children. I've had fertility issues, but I'm continuing that process. I will have a daughter, whether, natural through me or through adoption, and she will be a junior. And I'm okay if my daughter isn't the first, if there are many juniors before mine. I'm totally okay with that. Because it was about filling a gap. But I want every woman out there to know it's okay what your journey is. If right now you wanted a family, you wanted children, it's just not there, it will happen when it happens. And don't be embarrassed about it. But I would encourage you to have conversations. I truly believe that if there was just a group of friends I had that would have talked to me about freezing my eggs or earlier or something like that, then who knows? Maybe Junior wouldn't have been born. So while in some places it was a very emotional fertility journey, I think about it, and had I not had issues, or had I frozen my eggs earlier on, Junior might have never birthed, if you will. And so I
Right.
believe everything happens for a reason.